Oh, hi folks. July 25th, Saturday. Things are rolling right along. Trust everybody is fine. I have a dental appointment coming up, but just a cleaning. And I got my 2-page of directions. And it's sort of interesting. My last checkup was 6 months ago. That was about mid-January. Towards the end of January. And I remember at that time we were not sure what this Wuhan waltz was all about, and was asking to make sure that we didn't have anybody sick in the waiting room, because you'd be sitting right next to a bunch of people. And of course nobody knew much about it back then, interestingly enough. So anyway, I had my appointment back then, and few people sneezing and coughing, but got through it and didn't get sick. But this time it's interesting because they phoned me on Friday, and I had to do a questionnaire about blah 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 blah. Have you got a fever? Have you know anybody who has been sick, etc., etc.? Have you been traveling? Have you been out of town? Have you been out of country? All that sort of thing. So now I get my instructions for when I get there. So I've got to arrive 15 minutes early, but I can't go into the office. They'll have hand sanitizer outside, so you use your hand sanitizer I'm reading this, so for 30 seconds. And then select a mask out of a box. We'll have a box of masks outside. Once you put your mask on, sanitize your hands again for 30 seconds. Now, I'm not sure what sanitizer they're using, because they weren't sure, because several sanitizers have been banned by health and the Canadian government because there's something wrong with them. And my question is, how many people have dug through this box looking at masks? Are they individually sort of wrapped, or my people walker? This is in a mall as well, and it's been turned into a storage boat and camper and motorhome storage area. So I'm wondering what's all floating through the air. There's a hairdresser there, food store. It's one of those sort of real cool things, right? And as people are doing there's a senior center there too, and they do their walking around the mall. So I'm wondering how many people have coughed and sneezed in the box of masks, sort of thing. So you got to keep your mask on. Once you get in, they'll have arrows and instructions what you do next. And so you keep your mask on until the dentist tells you to take it off. And once in the waiting room, there'll only be 2 chairs spatially distant. So they've revamped the whole waiting room. A lot of chairs are gone, there'll be 2. Do not bring any extra things with you or family members with you. There'll be another hand sanitizer inside if you wish to use it. You cannot use our washroom, so use a washroom elsewhere before you come. Our receptionist will hand you a piece of paper with a questionnaire for you to fill out, and then you sign it and hand it back to the receptionist. But there'll be lines and markings on the floor where you are to stand and where you're not to stand. So make sure you're standing where you're supposed to stand before you hand this back to our receptionist through the plate glass, or I guess their plastic window. There's several other things, but once due to the pandemic, all the dentists and their assistants, there are 6 of them, maybe 7 people working there, and so they'll have their prep equipment on, masks, goggles, and face masks. And you have to use a special mouthwash for 30 seconds as soon as you take your mask off before they work in your mouth. But due to the whole Wuhan waltz, you cannot get any polishing done, and the dentist will not be able to check to see if you have any cavities or not. You're just getting a cleaning. So we'll have to book that for another time. So after I went through all of this, I thought, maybe I should just cancel my appointment. Maybe I should just cancel this. Number one, I don't know if I'm getting a clean mask. Number two, I'm not sure what type of hand sanitizer they're using. Number three, I'm not sure what type of mouthwash they're using. I'm careful what I put in my mouth. If it's full of fluoride, I'm not sort of interested. And welcome to July 2020. I mean, it's going to get worse, folks. I mean, it's going to get worse, folks. And talking about instructions, I'll have a link for this one, the British Columbia Center for Disease Control. This is a government official site. I'll give you the link. They have a whole list of things you can and shouldn't do due to the Wuhan waltz should you feel amorous. From glory holes all the way on down. So I'll let you read that yourself. I'm not going to get into it. But remember as you're reading this is a government website. It's going to get worse, folks. You're going to have to get a permit down the road. And of course, the other interesting thing that's happening in Canada is, of course, the Wii Scandal. And we're not sure how that's going to end up. There's calls for a police investigation, and the police are sort of shuffling their feet, according to a retired police officer. I might even put that link in. The fellow who is a retired police officer gives a good thing about that, and I won't get into trouble by talking about it. So I'll put a link on for that. So we have all sorts of things on the health front, from dentists to the Center for Disease Control. And we'll have a little bit on the Wuhan waltz for you, or the Wii Scandal from Ottawa. And of course everybody's shuffling their feet here and there and back and forwards as well. So it looks like we're in for an interesting rest of summer. And of course the curve is rising again. So I'm expecting we could be getting some more restrictions coming down. I think in bars the dance floors have to be closed now. No more dancing. You can't go up to the bar to get your own drink. You have to be seated, and you have to remain in your seat, and they'll bring your drink to you. Mind you, I don't go to bars, so I'm okay there. But it's probably the same as where you are. If they're not restricting freedom of speech, I see in Scotland they're having fun with that one. The Center for Disease Control really getting involved in what you can and can't do. I'm still smiling about that one. And our national government, our minority government, is in the heat of a scandal. This is the third one. So we'll see what happens. It's a minority. They just might decide to drop the hammer and call another election. We'll see. Or it could be forced, being in a minority. And I see people still stateside are still protesting that people are being arrested for lighting fires and being assholes. Because all this, our regular news tells us it's all peaceful protests. And of course, when you talk to people who are in those areas, there's nothing peaceful about it. Anyway, that's about it for today. I'll put some links on, and have fun with the government website, and take care and watch the Wii Scandal. Bye for now.